All right, guys. We did a video here in a video series for I Love You, But I'm Not in Love with You.
Yeah.
And we covered if she's having an affair.
Right.
And we pointed out it doesn't automatically mean the marriage is over or that she is a bad person. And boy, did we get some reactions.
Yeah.
Little boy energy came out everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it depends on this.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing to recognize in this is that it's an opportunity to learn something about yourself, regardless of how the relationship turns out, right? Whether she's remorseful, whether she stops seeing her affair partner, whether you two reconcile and have a 2.0 version of the relationship, that's secondary to there's something here that you can learn about yourself.
And one size doesn't fit all. You know, there are people, don't you mean the ex? Automatic, and you know, there's so many it depends. And it varies depending on the affair.
Look, so I was married when I was 19. There was infidelity on her part. And when I found out about it, I thought to myself, well, you know what? Women have, for generations, right, for years, decades, have put up with this, right? Have worked it through, have, whatever, however you want to phrase it, they have worked and to rebuild their relationship, right? They've worked to get past it. And those relationships can go on to be healthier, deeper, more connected relationships. Or if that person continues to be a serial cheater, then there's boundaries that need to be in place. There's decisions to be made, right? And so for myself, I said, you know what? I do love this person. I'm not happy about this, but let's work on it. And she said, I don't want to. I'm in love with him, right? I want to be with him. And I looked at her and I said, okay. And at the time, he happened to be 3 hours away because he had once his indiscretion had been uncovered, he had run for the hills. He was not a quality individual, and so I said, you know what? Okay, I'll drop you off. I'll take you over there, right? I'll drive you 3 hours to be with him. And she was like, what? And I said, yeah. If you want him, you can have him. Right? And that for me, I did that for me. I didn't do that for her, right? I didn't do that as the nice guy. I did that for me because this was me putting closure on that relationship. And we got a divorce and I moved on.
And I've got guys who their wife has had one indiscretion. They've both been unhappy for years and they have gone and have an incredible version 2.0 relationship. But that's different than serial cheating.
Right.
Long-term affairs, and with that comes the deceit, the lying, and everything else.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm a big believer you don't stay together for the just for the kids, because all that does is damage the kids when you both really don't like each other.
If both people can take ownership for their part in this and be able to take an honest look at themselves and be able to make adjustments or changes that need to be there in order to have a healthy relationship with each other and move forward, then that's great. If you're staying together, like you say, for the kids or because we're supposed to or because our families say we're supposed to or any reason that is outside of your own value system as a person, then it's for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and something to think about, because I see this come up a lot. Until you know all of what's going to happen or where things are going, don't tell your family. I have seen people tell their family because they don't have friends, so they have no one to confide in. And then they go to reconcile. Now the whole family knows she had an affair. Not that we're having problems. She had an affair. So that can create additional hurdles which may or may not allow you to reconnect. So something to think about. Again, reach out down below, subscribe, there's contact information, because contrary to what a lot of people will say, an affair does not make her a horrible human being. It just means she's hurting, she's struggling, she made a bad decision.
She is responsible for her actions. However, she is not alone in the relationship, and if you can't take ownership for at least participating in some way,
Yeah.
then you're denying yourself the ability to grow through this.
Yeah. And that also gives you guidance on what to do, If they take ownership, I love when the women
Clarity.
blame the man for their affair. Like,
Yeah.
he tripped
Yeah.
and fell on the dick. I'm
You know,
sorry.
When you get clarity about what your boundaries are, what your values are, what you want, what you don't want, what you'll accept, what you don't accept, right? That informs your decision. It makes everything exceptionally clear. If you're already there and this affair has happened on her end and you know that it violates your boundaries and you don't want to move forward with that relationship, you can absolutely do that. But definitely take a look at yourself and say, have I participated? Have I contributed to this in some way by either emotionally shutting her down, by making her feel unloved, disconnected in some way? Alone? Is there something, anything that I have done to contribute to this that I want to be different for myself moving forward in my life so I can show up as the man that I want to be?
It's a lot to think about, guys. It doesn't guarantee the end of the relationship. It could be the beginning of a better, stronger, healthier relationship or not. But every case is different, and I'm not going to throw women under the bus wholesale, because I've seen men who are even more emotionally shallow than I was, and she'd been reaching out, crying for help for years. Doesn't excuse the behavior. They've taken ownership for it, and like I said, I've seen some amazing relationships come from that. But you both have to do your part and own your part. All right, guys, have a great week.